Hey Vegan Starseeds, welcome to Starseed Energetics. My name is Bora and I'm going to read your September energy. This is the first time I'm ever doing a vegan reading. The reason so being that I had a Lyran reading and because it's in the same constellation, I never got into it. And when I commented on that last month, a lot of people left a comment saying that they would love a vegan reading. So if you want me to continue doing these ones, please like and comment below so I know. But if this doesn't get a lot of views, I'm not gonna keep investing time until maybe at a later point when I have a bigger audience. But you know, I have to really be smart about how I spend my time and energy, right? So hopefully this will help some of you. I mean, when I first started this channel, I had other ones too. I had Hathors because I connect with the Hathors a lot, but it didn't have much of a huge liking yet. I'm sure in the future, Hathors will be a big thing that people connect with. And if people are gonna hate on me for doing Anunnaki readings, just please go watch my Starseed, Shadow Starseed Heritage video. Okay, let's go. The primary message that you have for this month is to slow down your pace of mental body. So if you really take a look at how humans experience time, a lot of it is tied to how the individual subjective mind is running through their experience in their mental body, right? So you could be having the exact same experience as somebody else in terms of the intensity of the event or what's really occurring, but one person can be experiencing such a fast-paced, hurry type of energy, while the other person could be just in a very zen, calm state. So really stop projecting your mental body into so many different directions and ground it to the present moment, because if you want to get a lot done, and if you have so many things you want to do, it's kind of counterintuitive to think that running your mental body at a fast pace is going to speed up that process. Actually, slowing down your mental process is going to help you tap into the levels of yourself that is beyond cognition, that is transcendent of your cognitive mind, that is this existence. And to me, you have previously suppressed a lot of this sense of being, just enjoying your presence, just enjoying your awareness. But that's coming to a full closure because it comes up with the maturity card. And as you mature in this paradigm, you're going to come to a place where this is at the forefront and you are no longer conditioned to suppress your existence and this fullness of your being. And right now, there's a lot of things happening. So I mention this quite often, but in case you've never heard it, I refer to Terence McKenna, who is one of my favorite thought leaders of all time. And Terence McKenna talks about how time is actually a synchronicity of different events and how many things are occurring in that event. How many things are occurring in that period of time. And the more we evolve, the more things occur in that one pocket of framework. And so why you need to slow down is because actually there's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of intense energies. And so in order to really integrate that and accumulate all of this, you need to slow down. So whether that means you need to slow down and take off some of the things that you're currently working on, or just stop organizing all of these things you want to get accomplished into small, minuscule little options and small little thought processes to make it seem like there's an illusion of getting things done because you're like mentally rehearsing that, but actually that's not really helping. What's going to help you is to tune into your current state and what you truly want to get done right now. And if you just follow that and trust that it's going to accumulate into getting things done in the most effective way, that's actually going to lead you to so many different shortcuts, and you not necessarily having to work on these small little cognitive tasks, but actually outsourcing that to the universe to get done for you. So all of a sudden you'll have so much different help from the environment. All of a sudden you'll have this abundance of opportunities and synchronicities, and the environment kind of working for you instead of you having this mental projection of you needing to do everything. So it's like, what do I need to get done? This is step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you stop doing that, then you won't have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but maybe just do 2 things, and 3 of them is done by the environment, and it's just packaged to your doorsteps. And you will therefore experience this true abundance of resources, time, and everything else that it unfolds as. But there's this abundance of time. You're an infinite creature. Get acquainted with your infinity. Get acquainted with your eternity. Because when you get in touch with that level of yourself, why would you ever want to hurry? There is no hurrying. That was all a social conditioning. You've been tricked, and now it's the time for you to step back from that paradigm. And the final outcome of all of this is actually you being able to truly experience what it means to be alive. And it's almost like you've never felt alive like this before in your life. And you're starting to feel alive. You're starting to live in the moment. You're starting to really experience a level of yourself that is beyond illusion, because you're detached from this mental projections. And when you gotta even take a look at your posture, because a lot of the times people whose mental bodies are like so disseminated into so many different timelines, like it shows, their posture is like a little bit hunched. And so if you have like a bit of a misaligned posture, it's a very clear indication of your dissonance with your mental body versus your physical body versus everything else. And take that weight off of your shoulders. It's almost like you're carrying this giant boulder on your back if you have your mental body elsewhere, because it's not, in sync with where your soul wants you to go, where your body wants to go. So you're finally starting to experience the transcendent place where your mental body is like not somewhere else. And when it's synchronized to the trinity of the complex that you are, then it actually harmonizes into a higher dimension that is transcendent of the illusion, beyond illusion. And then this calls for a celebration. So you're definitely going to be celebrating this month. And whether this plays out as you actually celebrating, with your friends, with your family members or whatever, there's this party mode. But this is more so on an internal level as well, where you really feel like rejoicing because you feel more alive than ever before. And it's almost like you never even knew that this way of life existed. You almost thought that this was a normal way of living, to have this mental fracture everywhere. But this like coming into this grounding of your mental body, and slowing down. And then you feel this way of living that's so blissful, and getting in touch with that infinite aspect of yourself, right? But in order to do that, first you have to face your fears. So major spiritual changes are unfolding, so this is your chance to soar, and you have to face your fear. And for you, obviously, your fear is number one, that there is not enough time, which is based on mortality. On a certain level, you know that you're not a mortal being. So where does this sense of hurry come from? Where does this sense of, conditioning beliefs come from, that there's not enough time, or that there's only a certain timeline where you can tap into this ascension and you have to do your mission, otherwise everyone's gonna just die? I'm just, being dramatic, but you know what I mean. Like, where is that coming from? Because who says we can't tap into a timeline where humans, at least human longevity is 3 times longer than right now? That is actually the most technologically correct way of perceiving the human trajectory, not even on a spiritual level, because when you go to that spiritual level, you have a chance to be embodied in this physical dimension for as long as you would like in this golden age paradigm, which where we're shifting into. But chances are a lot of people would like to explore non-physical way of aligning with the source consciousness, so they don't want to live in an eternal body in this dimension. But that's a definite possibility, right? So even when it just comes to our medical progression, that's actually what's occurring. Human longevity. Look up Human Longevity by Peter Diamandis. Peter Diamandis isn't like a spiritual person. Peter Diamandis is a technological entrepreneur. And they're literally having foundations on human longevity and how to increase it and exponentially advance the number of years that humans live. And this is like gonna unfold in the next decade from a non-spiritual perspective. So imagine when it's integrated with the spiritual perspective. So face that fear of having not enough time, face that fear of having not enough resources. Look, and your fear of having not enough time to live and to unfold your fullest potential is going to manifest in your personal reality as not having enough time to get a certain project done, not having enough time to socialize with people or get in touch with this or that or learn what you want to learn. It's going to come as smaller ripples like that because you have an overlying fear of death, overlying fear of not having enough years in your life. So pay attention to when those micro things happen, when you don't have enough time to get something done and there's this anxiety, and most likely you have more than enough time to get something done, but it's just that pressing anxiety that there's not enough time. And then you realize like before the project is over, oh, like you had enough time but you were just worried about it, you know, it was such a waste of energy. So reflect on those smaller increments, because working on those smaller increments of this time pressure is going to help you resolve that macrocosmic time pressure that you feel towards your entire human life. And you know, just expect miracles, because from facing this fear, and you have this protection, and another layer that's coming through is like your third eye is totally opening. It's completely opening, so be receptive to how your third eye communicates with you. Everybody will have a different experience of their third eye sensations, just like everybody will have a different shade of looking through the universe. Everybody has a different perception through their third eye. Not everyone experiences it in such a visual way. Some people experience it more as a tactile perception. Some people experience it more as an information download, you know. So don't think just because it's called the third eye, it's just an instrument to higher dimensions. It's a symbol because it's in the center of your brain. It's the third eye of perception, which is the divine trinity, and then it's also perceiving into the subtler frequencies. So don't be surprised if it comes as a sensation that you hadn't experienced. That's still your third eye. It's still this, you know, the DMT production, the pineal gland is all the same. So just like how no one's DMT trip or mushroom trip or whatever hallucinogen people take is not going to be the same for any of the trips between people, or even at each time that you try it. And I've never taken DMT, so it's just a disclaimer, I don't need to. But some people, you know, take it and they have all these different experiences. It's going to be the same thing with your third eye. Last message that I have for you is from this magic street. So definitely, this is a parallel to the DMT that I'm talking about. This isn't a card about DMT, but DMT, if you don't know what it is a spirit molecule. You can find this in sentient life forms that are naturally produced, and what happened is some cool scientists or whatever chemists decided to synthetically produce this and see what happens. And when people take this synthetically produced DMT, people literally transcend for like 15 minutes or something like that, but it feels to them like eternity. And this is literally like a very synthetic way of experiencing the tapping into higher dimensions, because like I said, it's a natural occurring thing. So people who are, you know, clairvoyant, or they have ESP or starseeds or light workers, they all have an abundant stream of DMT, but this is a very cool thing. I also want to bring up the cerebrospinal fluid that is very much associated with this. The cerebrospinal fluid is a very cool topic if you're into biology and how spirit is related to biology. So that's something that I would ask you to experiment, explore, dive into, because that is the card, and that is definitely activated within you very much viscerally this month. And you know, this is a very strange thing for me to recommend, but ASMR is a branch of things that are available on YouTube that a lot of people tune into. It's like a huge like category on YouTube, and it's essentially people creating this sensational sounds that are very muted, so subtle sounds. So it's obviously for ESP people, it's obviously for more spiritual people who can sense this, because the sounds are so subtle. People are like whispering or tapping on like objects, and then you get these tingles if you have ESP, basically. And people who like ASMR, even if they don't know it, that means they have strong ESP. That's a way for you to tap into this cerebrospinal fluid. It's not that it's proven, but I just have this inner knowing that the two are interlinked. So you can't find proof of what I just said, but that's just my inner knowing that the two are linked, and this production of cerebrospinal fluid can be related to this ASMR. And my favorite ASMR artist on YouTube is Luninate. If you know my channel, like the ones that I call Hyperloop, that are my favorite channels, she's always been one of those people there, and she does like these Reiki sessions, and she always plays with crystals, and I think it's a really awesome combination of using sound therapy, because essentially it's sound therapy. It's like getting a massage on your brain, and then she's combining that with crystals. And you know, the state that you get into when you are getting this kind of sound therapy is very receptive, so it's so smart to send like healing energy while you're doing the sound healing. So that's a really cool channel. So yeah, that was the end of your reading. Thank you so much for resonating with me, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked this vegan category of starseeds, please let me know, and if I get a good enough response, then I'll continue to do it from September onwards. If not, then I'll probably let it rest, but eventually I can do it again. You know, it's not a big deal. Okay, thank you so much. I love you guys. Bye.